Welcome back to Calculus 1. This is homework problem number 12 from part 2 of the homework set number 4. The solution to this problem is x can be -9 and x could be 1. Problem number 12 asks us to find all numbers y, which are part of the set of real numbers, such that the distance between y and -4 is equal to 5. So what we're doing here, if you take a look at this, I'm rewriting this. Our standard distance formula was given by the difference between two numbers, the absolute value of that guy. But here, instead of having a negative, I've got a plus, so I'm going to rewrite this as a negative. So I've got this. And so again, what this here says is find the distance, or find the y value, I should say. So find the y value or values whose, let's spell whose right, whose distance from the value -4 is 5 units. That's how you interpret this. So it's not about pushing symbols around. It's about thinking about what the absolute value is asking, what geometrically we're looking for, and solving it from there. So if I think about a number line, and I'm looking for the distance between y and -4. So here's -4, and now I want y to be somewhere so that it's distance between -4 and itself. So here's -4. And then there's another guy out there, we're going to call it y. And the distance, this length right here, is going to be 5. That's what this says. Now notice that y can fall on this side, or it can fall on this side. Because we're talking about distance, so we don't have to have a negative here. Okay. These are distances, so they're positive. So there's two different y's that we're looking for. Well, let's talk about this purple y. Well, if I add 5 to the purple, or excuse me, to -4, I get 1. So let's check to see if that works. So that would be the absolute value of y plus 4 is got to equal 5. Now if y is 1, let's just make sure that that guy works in there. So that would be 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. And so this clearly, 1 plus 4 is 5. So the absolute value of 5, that's 5. And that checks. So this is one solution, because 1 is a real number and it satisfies that absolute value. Now let's look at this guy over here. Well, this guy is 5 to the left, and that brings me over here to -9. So let's try that one out. So that would be the green y, whoops, plus 4. I want to keep this consistent with my colors. Okay, so we'll plug in what we got for the y value, which was -9. And so now -9 plus 4 is -5, but remember there's still the absolute values around that, and the absolute value of -5 is 5. So that checks. So we've found, this is the second solution. So we found two different solutions. Our solution set are the numbers -9 and +1. Those guys are what y can be equal to. Okay. Now the other way that we can solve this thing up here, instead of drawing it out is a great idea to do that, especially when you first start out. doing these. The more of the computational way, or the algebraic way of looking at this would be to take y plus 4 equal to 5, and remember that y plus 4, the absolute value of y plus 4 is either just y plus 4 or it is negative y plus 4. So these are the two options. Here's option 1, here's option 2. And if we solve these guys, this guy gives me 1. This guy gives me y plus 4 is equal to negative 5. Multiply both sides by negative 1. And so this will give me negative 9. So again, we get those same values.